To create your first client, you're going to use this quick form on the left-hand side, starting with the client name. You're going to pick a strategy from your catalog, and this strategy is customizable to you, so check out the video on how to modify your current templates or strategies as well as creating new ones. So let's pick the conventional in this case. We're going to stick with a purchase, but you could do a refinance, as you can see. Put the purchase price. You don't need to fill out the credit score, annual income, monthly debts, but it will calculate the DTI so that you can use the mortgage insurance technology that we have integrated in the platform. Then select your interest rate that you want and hit create. Once you create your presentation, you will see the presentation itself on the right-hand side, and then you'll see the navigation tree here where you can go in and start to make changes to the presentation to customize it for your client. For your first time in Misely, I recommend that you go through this entire list, each one of these particular sections, so that you can understand and get comfortable with where everything is, where the fields are, so when you need to make a change, you'll know where to go. So for instance, if you went into the profile for John Doe, you'll see that we have all these fields that are particular to the actual client. Then if you go into the property section, you'll also see a profile, which is the property profile. So you'll see that you can make changes to the property profile, and also all the way through the loan options and different things that you could add to the loan, including buy downs, credits, debts, first loan, second loan. You get the picture, but I would go through and just get acquainted with everything that is here. And then you could also go and see what is included in building out the actual presentation. Right now, we do have the presentation created from the template that we were using, because it's really just going to populate all of those typical fields that you're going to be filling out on every conventional loan. So the next thing I want to show you is a quick way to go from a 3% down option, in this case, to a 5% down option. So all I need to do is go into the loan section. You'll see this gear here on the right-hand side. You just click the gear, make a copy of this, and all you need to do is update this to, say, 95, and then I'm going to name this 5% down. One of the points to make here is I'm naming this 5% down, but you have the ability to name this whatever you'd like. I'm just showing you what I do in terms of comparing a 3% down and a 5% down option. We'll click the color here. We'll change this to a blue, let's call it. And when you hit copy, you'll see that it gets placed in as another column next to your 3% down option. Because I added the 5% down option, I just need to go in and make sure I update the mortgage insurance on that particular option. Because I did do the debt to income ratio using the client information, I can hit the Get MI button and it will automatically go out and get that rate. Now let's take this a little bit further, and now that we have these two options, 3% and 5% down, I can then compare the options based on a different price point. And the way that I would do that is I would go into the property, make a copy of this property. Let's just say that this property here, go into the profile, I'll make a change to say this is 123 Main Street, and we're going to compare that at 500,000 with another property that's, let's call it 234 Main Street. So all I need to do is go ahead and make a copy of this property, and we'll have this pop up. We'll change it to, let's say, 550 for 234 Main Street. So they're looking at two properties here. And I hit copy, and it automatically creates the secondary property with all of the information that we had in the other property in terms of the loans. So in order to then compare the two properties together, we would go into the presentation, we would add, by clicking on loans, the loan options that we want to select to compare. So if I hit save here, you'll see that now I've got 3% down and 5% down for 500,000, and then 5 and 3% down for the 550,000. Let's just say I wanted to compare just the 3% options. I can go back in and I can just deselect the 5% options. And as you'll see, it will then change it to just looking at the 3% down with the 550 versus 500. The other thing I want to point out is that you can change the favorite of the option by going into the loans itself. And as you can see, right now I've got the 123 Main Street 3% down option starred. That means I'm basically recommending that option or making it the favorite option. I can switch that to the 234 Main if I want, just by clicking on the star. When I hit save, you'll see that 234 will get placed as the favorite versus the 123 Main. The other cool things you can do to your presentation is you could add a video just by going to the video section of the presentation, clicking on that plus sign. You can either record a video or upload a video that you've already recorded. And what will happen is it will place itself right here in the right-hand side of your presentation. If you also want, or alternatively, you could go to the labels section and you can add a little description for your client. So let's just say I wanted to type a message to the client and I hit save here. You'll see that that message will appear up here in the top part of the presentation under loan comparison. So now that I'm ready to deliver this presentation to the client, all I need to do is go to this share button here. It will pop up two options. One is email, the other is link. Email will launch your native email application, place that link in the body of the email, and then you can type your message and send it off to the client. The copy link will allow you to copy and place that link in perhaps an already proposed email, or if you're on